Greetings, everybody. Right back at you here at Railroad Nail Boxing Talk. And like we say here at Railroad Nail Boxing Talk, we don't just praise fighters with pretty records. We praise all fighters who get in the ring and fight hard. You can be 14-9, 38-2, or 16-10. If you out there knocking sweat off somebody's head, making the crowd want to come see you again, then your light will shine here at Railroad Nail Boxing Talk. What's up, boxing fans? Erickson Lubin versus Jesus Ramos. Let's talk about it. Now, this was a big fight at the 154-pound division. Now, we all know that there's been big controversy saying Erickson Lubin didn't deserve to win. The odds had Erickson Lubin losing by a long shot in this fight. Erickson Lubin is a vet. He lost his first title shot to Charlo. He built up a rep again and then lost to Fundora. So the boxing fans wondering what Erickson Lubin gonna do when he coming back. But he facing a young, strong, undefeated fighter in Jesus Ramos. And I want to correct a mistake I did on Jesus Ramos on the last show. I said he had a loss against Santa Maria, and he didn't. It was his uncle. Some fans saying Jesus Ramos got robbed, saying Jesus Ramos won that fight. But I beg to differ. What I saw is Jesus Ramos letting his foot off the gas. I can't say he had Lubin. He had him. But Lubin did what I thought he would do. Kept moving, avoided the slugfest, and boxed smart. He got a lot of inside punches, inside hooks, combinations. His jab was fantastic. He kept it in Ramos' face. He kept distance. He avoided his urge to slug. He moved around Ramos. Yeah, Ramos trapped him. Yeah, his coach had to get on him. Lubin was taking some hard, precise body punches. I mean, Ramos was digging them body punches into Lubin. And I thought Lubin was going to be still and just stay there and take body punches. I thought he was finna go down. He took some hard body punches. I mean, the body punches he took, I thought he might need a wheelchair after the fight or something. And I think Ramos figured on Lubin getting weak in behind them body punches, and so did I. I just knew them body punches was going to weaken Lubin for the later rounds. I knew it because he took some hard ones. I mean, you can hear them. And they was right there where he was throwing them. You know, I thought Lubin was going to go down. I did. He had Lubin. I felt like if anybody looked like they was going to be stopped, it was Lubin. Yeah, he had Lubin. He should have kept trapping. He was having much success backing Lubin up in the corner, hitting Lubin with hooks, stomach punches. And I believe that's why the fans believe Ramos should have won the fight. Because he did have the hard and more eye-catching punches. Ramos did have that. And Lubin is the one that looked like he was about to be stopped. But Ramos had his success with a streak of rounds in the middle of the fight. Lubin won the early rounds and most of the late rounds. What I saw is a great comeback from Erickson Lubin. A lot of sharp boxing, a lot of smarts and wits, not to use his need to slug instincts, and being smart, picking his power shots wisely. A lot of angles, a lot of in and out. Lubin got out of that corner. Lubin kept moving, kept jabbing, and Jesus Ramos took his foot off the gas. And I think it was because of some sharp inside punches. I don't know. But I noticed how Lubin's corner made him think he was behind. I like that strategy, and it paid dividends for Lubin. Because he got out of that corner, he started boxing and boxing well with that jab. He was hitting good. He was doing good with that jab. And he turned the tables on the fight. It became a boxing match. And he outwitted Ramos. But he felt like he was behind. He felt like he had to go out there and win them rounds. And I felt like he did. And he did that. He did that. Ramos just took his foot off the gas. I think his corner was under the impression that he was way ahead in the fight. And at the time he was. But it still was a lot of rounds left. He was ahead at one point in the fight. I had him ahead. Jesus Ramos should have did what he was doing. He had a lot of success with that pressure, with that in and out movement, that passive aggressiveness. And he couldn't miss Lubin with them body punches. Why he stopped throwing them? He just stopped throwing them. And Lubin, maybe it was because of Lubin's movement. Lubin wasn't in distance to be hit by it. That's what I saw. So no, it wasn't no robbery. It wasn't no robbery. I like Jesus Ramos too. He is a threat. He is a threat because if Lubin didn't do the movement that he was doing, if Lubin wasn't that smart boxer, Lubin would have been stopped. But he was a smarter fighter than Ramos, the vet, and he acted like it. And now, Erickson Lubin could possibly be facing the winner of Tim Tszyu and Brian Mendoza, or the winner of, if this fight happens, Jamel Charlo and Terrence Crawford. Because ain't no moving backwards for Erickson Lubin. He already done fought the best. He lost against Charlo, so I see Erickson Lubin moving forward from this point. He's not going to fight nobody less. And Jesus Ramos too. Jesus Ramos, let's remember, defeated Brian Mendoza, who's facing Tim Tszyu. So he's already at the top. So both of these fighters are past the gatekeeping level. They're already there. So I don't see neither one of these fighters going backwards to fight a lesser opponent unless they can't find one. However, I don't think that's a bad loss for Ramos. I mean, he didn't look bad in this loss at all. If anything, he can blame himself for taking his foot off the gas because it wasn't like he was outmatched to the point where he was out of the fight. Yeah, it was a close fight because it was always mystery. Is Ramos going to trap him and hit him with some of them punches again? But Lubin made sure that didn't happen. He made sure he didn't get into a slugfest. It was a smart performance by Lubin. It was a veteran performance to me. And he won the fight. I totally disagreed with the commentators. I totally disagreed with them because they was under the impression that it was a whitewash by Ramos, and I wasn't seeing it. I wasn't seeing it. And that's how we see it here at Railroad Near Boxing Talk. I don't like to keep it too long because you don't know me that well, but you will. And like we say here at Railroad Near Boxing Talk, we don't just praise fighters with pretty records. We praise all fighters who get in the ring and fight hard. You can be 31-2, 28-11, or 16-10. If you're out there knocking sweat off somebody's head, making the crowd want to come see you again, then your light will shine here at Railroad Near Boxing Talk.